BS Show Season 5, Episode 8. Sean Gancar's back with Adam Tynan and, well, from Dollar a Day himself, Jack Flynn filling in for Justin Chaz here. Jack, you don't really know our lock record, but what started off as really great for us is started to hit the shitter. So maybe you can come in this episode too and help us bounce back a little here because I was ice cold to start and actually 4-2 the past 2 weeks, kind of bounced myself back, but Adam, you're
Not me.
you're about 8-9 week incredible run from the end of last season to this season has seemed to come to an end. And well, Chaz, not the best either last week, but hey, the season's wild. Say it at the start of the show every week. But new week, I mean, week 6, we're a couple weeks away from when we hit our stride. Adam, how you feeling?
Yeah, I mean, we're not thrilled where we've been, in locks the past couple of weeks. It's just unacceptable. Got to be better. I agree with you, Gank. Having Jack on the show may just kind of switch this up. The Yanks are winning and looking good. So that is one bright spot. But besides that, not too happy with what's going on.
Jack, we know your fantasy brain. How's your gambling brain gonna work here?
I mean, I plan on going 3-0 this week, so we'll see. Hopefully, I beat both of you. That's my goal. That's all I'm looking for.
I like that.
I like the confidence. I mean, like I said, something needs to light a fire under us or get us going. So maybe a mix-up could do it. But as always, Thursday night football to start the week. Arizona 1.5-point favorites at home, over under 44.5. And as always, Gonzo goes first. As obviously Chaz is not here to give us a Gonzo pick, but he does have it texted out, and I am here to tell you right off the bat that Gonzo is on the Cardinals -1.5 this week. I can't remember what Gonzo did last week. Do you know if he won or lost?
What was the game? I feel like he was on the Bears, no? Because Chaz was on the Bears. So
I feel like he was. I think we all
Yeah.
were on there. So Gonzo too has hit a cold streak. That just goes to show you how fucked up this season is. Hopefully you get back on track here. I'm going to say right off the bat, I'm running with him. This Saints team still has yet to impress me once this year. Actually don't really hate what Andy Dalton's been doing as an Alvin Kamara fantasy owner. He's brought a little life to him, but the Cardinals, I think, have been a dumpster fire, but game at home here, short week, tough loss to Seattle on the road. I mean, that team only scored 9 points against Seattle's defense. It's just brutal if you're Arizona. But, hey, short week, you get over it quick, and I think they come out fired up at home here and really try to get things clicking. D-Hop is back in the lineup, so I'll take the Cardinals to get the job done at home, win, cover, go over 24-21.
Yeah, I mean, D-Hop coming back. I don't want to pick the Cardinals this week, but I agree with you. I think they are going to win. I hate to say it because my Saints could use a W bad, but I'm just not seeing it from them. And this is one of those games. Cardinals just had a bad one. They bounce back well. Short week, it could either look terrible or very good. I think D-Hop coming back is going to be huge for this team. And unfortunately, I do think Cliff Kingsbury stays alive, stays coaching, and is not fired for one more week. But I do think the Cardinals come away with a win. I think it's a close one. I think it should be fun, a little lower scoring, but I'm going to go 23-20 Arizona.
See, I think the Saints are going to win this one. It's a lot to ride on injuries, though. If Winston comes back, then they'll do very well. And then same thing with Chris Olave if he comes back from concussion protocol, but who knows with that this year. But still, I'm going to ride with the Saints. Arizona Cardinals look awful last week against the worst defense in the league. They didn't even score 9 points because their defense scored 6 of that. They had 3 in the whole game, 3 points. Like, that's awful. So I'm going with the Saints. I guess we got to give a score here. I'm going with the under. I think it's going to be pretty bad. I'm going to go with 20-17 Saints over the Cardinals.
Hey, me and Adam both had the Saints in the playoffs this year, so they're disappointed.
I hope you're right, Jack.
We wouldn't mind seeing the turnaround from them, but I mean, I don't know which of these two teams is worse. And a situation like this, I just can't pick against Kyler at home. He's a better quarterback, and hopefully you get the job done.
Isn't Winston supposed to come back, though? I thought he was. Questionable, at least.
Who?
Winston.
Jameis.
Yeah.
Yeah, he might. I don't think I'll see how Olave could clear the concussion protocol though between Sunday and Thursday. Though I don't even know if that's possible. But
Yeah, we'll see.
all right, into the Sunday swing here. First game up, Detroit and Dallas. Dallas 7-point favorites at home. Over under 48.5. And Detroit was the hard knocks. Everybody had their heart team. This team's going to be better than they were last year. It kind of looked like it the first couple of weeks of the season, but when it's all said and done, the Lions are still the Lions, and they're 1-4 coming into this game against a Dallas team that could have Dak back and is arguably the best defensive team in the league. I really don't see where Detroit matches up well against this team because Detroit's strength is their offense. I think they're just going to struggle mightily against Dallas here, and Dallas gets Dak back too, then, well, this offense can really get firing on all cylinders. I actually love Dallas to cover this 7, especially with Dak. They just match up so much better than them. Give me Dallas with ease here. I'll go Cowboys 28-17.
Yeah, again, this is a tough one for me because I actually just got DeAndre Swift in one of my leagues, so I'm hoping he has a big first game if he plays. I don't know if this is that team to do it against, even if he does play, but I think it's a bad matchup for Lions. I think you're right, gang. Jared Goff against a really good front 7 hasn't been known to struggle. I mean, they're coming off a bye, yes, but they just got, I don't think, shut out in New England before the bye, right? Or something like that.
They did.
Yeah, so I mean, that is not promising. And I think the Cowboys are legit. I mean, you lose in Philly by a field goal. I mean, that could be worse. And I just kind of feel like Dallas's defense shuts down Detroit's offense and they kind of cruise to a victory. I don't know how well the offense for the Cowboys will look, even if Dak is back, but I think they'll run the ball, play good defense, and hold on to it and not turn it over, and they'll find a way to win this one by double digits. I like 27-17 Dallas.
So it looks like I'm going against you guys 2 times in a row. I think this line is assuming that Dak is back and very healthy, and I don't know if he is yet. And we saw last year Russell Wilson with the thumb injury came back and was awful. So I don't know. I got Detroit. Especially if everyone comes back. Amon-Ra St. Brown, DeAndre Swift. I think they're not going to win the game, but they're going to make it close. So I'm going to go with, let's say, 24-23.
Oh, wow.
Dallas takes it out.
Wow.
I tell you what, Dallas kicking a field goal out the buzzer is a typical way for the Lions.
It is.
That's something
Very
not
true.
surprising, too.
Dan Campbell comes out, must win, loses by a field goal.
Yeah.
That's what I got.
It's tough to come out to a must win coming to Dallas right here, but at least we just got the extra week to prepare. All right. Flipping conferences here into the AFC South. Colts heading to Tennessee. Titans 2.5-point favorites at home. Over under 43.5. And boys, I think my Colts are coming to life. They just had a game they absolutely needed where that offense needed to click, needed to score points. They did it without Jonathan Taylor. Michael Pittman still being Michael Pittman, doing what he does. When Jonathan Taylor comes back, and you got a guy like Michael Pittman and Jonathan Taylor, which one do you focus on? One's going to feed off the other. They're either going to run the ball down their throats or Pittman's going to catch 15 passes like he has been. And with that said, Jack, if you don't know the show too well, we fade the Titans. That's what me and Chaz are known for. I am definitely going to fade the Titans against a Colts team that I love coming into this year. And I've been saying come October, we'll probably start to hit their stride. Hopefully they're starting to hit it up to 3-2-1. A win here puts the Colts back into first place in the AFC South as well. So I'm expecting the Colts to stay hot and knock the Titans off their 3-game winning streak. They can still be a pretty close game, but picking the Colts to win. So that means they're going to cover the plus 2.5. I'll go Colts 23-20. Have that under by half a point.
I guess I am the only guy in the show normally that's on the Titans, and I'm going to stick to it. I think last week was a kind of a fluke win for the Colts in a way. Their offense did click, absolutely, no doubt. But they could have easily lost that game. And the Titans are the type of team that are going to win a little bit early, maybe, but struggle. But they win games. Say what you want. There may be frauds in the playoffs, but they win games. And I think that they get this one done at home, divisional game. I believe they're also coming off a bye, if I am not mistaken. So Yeah. So I mean, I like that. I think they circle this as a big game, home divisional game you need to have, which they will. I think the Colts struggle again offensively. I'm just not buying it necessarily, but we'll see. Deion Jackson came in and put up 28 points for me in fantasy, so that was pretty cool.
The big
But
Yelly
That's
fantasy.
great play. Great play.
that was huge. So we love that. But that being said, I don't know about this one. The Colts kind of scare me. I'm not completely buying them. I do kind of like the under, but I'm going to go 2017 Tennessee.
It's a little scary that the Colts had one of their best offensive performances without Jonathan Taylor. So I don't know how to read into that, to be honest. But this one's a toss-up for me. I guess I got to go with the Titans, just mainly on I think their defense is going to do better than the Colts offense, especially if Jonathan Taylor's out. I'm going to stick with the Titans, especially to cover. Actually, I'm going to have them to cover. You have to go points on here. I'm going to go 21-17.
What's the deal with Jonathan Taylor? Didn't he practice half the week last week and then just not play?
Yeah, I don't understand it, man.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't like it because that number 3 overall pick or 4th overall pick is not playing to potential. But I have become very lucky in fantasy. I had in our league the second lowest points, and I won by 3. And I'm 4-2, and my points 4 is so much lower. I think I'm second last in points 4.
There's one of those teams every year. I mean, Chaz was it last year in the same boat you are, just kind of getting lucky with the schedule. And there's always one in every fantasy league. And
100%.
I don't see like you hopped on the right boat with that this year. And to be fair, though, the fact that you're bailed out 4-2 with Keenan Allen and Jonathan Taylor just not playing football recently means once they do come back too, it might not be a team you want to see.
I mean, hey, you just got to get in the fantasy playoffs and anything can happen. So
we know that. Yeah.
That's it.
The championship as a 5 and 6 seed.
Oh yeah.
That was Keys last year. Keys got the championship. He just made it in by the scrape of his teeth.
By the way, for us 2 and 4 people like myself in that league, Keys was 2 and 4 last year too. Pretty much in the same spot I'm at when he
look at Gang calling his championship shot. What a surprise.
Well, we know Genk doesn't win the championship. He may make the ship. He may make the ship, but he's not winning anything.
Buffalo Bills in the league, baby.
Buffalo Bills.
It's tough. All right, I'm on to my Giants. So Giants head into Jacksonville. Giants 3-point underdogs here. Over under 42.5. And Adam, as I said to you, like this line scares the shit out of me because the line last week against Baltimore did kind of scare me a little. And for the reason why Chaz even texted us in one day, like, oh, the 4-1 Giants against the 3-2 Ravens. Giants are getting 5.5. Like, let's be honest, going into last week, I still probably think once the season comes to the end, this is still true. The Ravens are a better team than the Giants, and the Giants just had a better finish. But that said, this is Giants' first true road game since week 1, something I brought up. And everything about this game scares me because I think Vegas knows that. And they were clearly begging you to bet the Giants here at +3. The Jags, after their 2-1 start, have kind of been like the Lions, where people fell in love with the Lions early. Next thing you know, they're 1-4. And the Jags beat the shit out of the Chargers one day. People are saying, I told you this Jags team is going to come back and be good this year. And all of a sudden, they're 2-4. And I want to think both these teams are neither there. I still think the Jags are a year or two away from the playoffs. But this way this line is drawn up scares the shit out of me because I think there's no reason why the Giants shouldn't be favorites here. I think they're begging you to take the Giants here. But as a Giants fan, I'm not going to touch this game as a gambler, but for the show, I'm going to fall right into Vegas's fucking trap because I am not picking the Jaguars to beat my Giants right now. I simply can't do it. Giants are playing too well. They run the ball well. They play good defense. They don't turn the ball over, which as average as Daniel Jones has been, that's been his biggest issue for his whole NFL career. And the second he stopped turning the ball over, we see the difference it makes. So give me the Giants to stay hot here, get the job done on the road. Jags defense that looked decent those first few weeks has been very questionable of late too. I mean, we just saw what Matt Ryan without Jonathan Taylor could do to it. So I'll go Giants 24-21 on the road. But Giants fans, be cautious. That line's scary. I think they know something.
It's almost as if, they like have paid the refs already for this game. I just, I agree with you, Gank, but I'm not going to look too much into it. I think the Giants are going to win this game. At worst, I see this line as a push, which is even more concerning. I'm not gonna say much more than what you had to say because I think you put it pretty well. They're just playing good football. You see what happens when coaching and culture happens, and Brian Dable just cracks me up, man. That guy is awesome. So
That guy.
don't you just want to have a beer with him? Like, dude, he's probably
Yeah.
the man. Like, and
Dude, it's still against like the Giants culture too. Like, Giants getting a coach that gets fired up like that. Like the Giants, that's the one thing I usually hate the most about. They're so old school, laid back football.
Yeah.
Like think about 5-10 years ago, the Giants saw a coach like Dable being like, "Let's fucking go," screaming on the sideline, walking off the London field. Ownership would be pissed at that, but about time they got that in.
I love all the memes with him with like giant nuts. It's like the guy from
those are great.
Carrying around his nuts in a wheelbarrow. I love it.
His go-to thing apparently is D's nuts jokes too, Brian.
Perfect.
This guy, I was mad when the Giants got him and the Bills assistant GM, and I think they got their guy. I feel like I said every week, but that being said, I think they're going to keep it rolling. Could be a trap game, but it just doesn't seem like that's the case. And the Jags are just the Jags, so I'm gonna, need to be shown more. I kind of fell into that trap early, but I was wrong so far. So I do like some points here. I think that neither defense really will play too great. There'll be a lot of turnovers, kind of a sloppy game. But I think the Giants find a way to win in Jacksonville. I'm going to go 27-24 Giants.
Yeah, I like the Giants too. So I'm agreeing with you guys on this one. I think their defense has been so good. So I think they're just going to hold it up against Jacksonville. Jacksonville hasn't really impressed me losing against Houston. I think they only put up 6 points against them. So I really don't think they could take it to the Giants. The only thing Jacksonville has is that they're home and their rushing game looks okay rather than Travis Etienne. But I don't know. I'm going to ride with the Giants as well. I'm going to agree with you guys finally. We'll go for the points. I'm going low scoring here. We're going 20-17 again, but the Giants are going to hold it out.
Jack, you're gonna learn. Not many times all three of us actually agree.
Probably I think that was the first one so far.
Or maybe 5 of those games a week. You get that.
Very rarely. Yeah, and it's funny. Me and Gank are, we have one or 2 weeks where we agree, and the rest are just like we got like 9 games different.
Yeah, you never know. All right, into the AFC North here. Ravens 6.5-point favorites at home. Over under 45.5, and well. Jack, be ready. You get to pick this one first because Chaz is a Raven fan. Usually their team gains, we give them their first takes. And to be honest, Chaz, I don't think he's been as hot this year, but throughout the 5 seasons of this show, he's been very good when it comes to picking his Ravens game. So I kind of like to hear what he says. But I don't have him here this week, Jack. So I'm going to hear what you have to say first then.
Well, I'm going to attack the Browns here because the Browns made their backup quarterback of the Patriots look like an MVP. Zappy. I don't even know if that's his name. Like they made him look like an MVP, and Ramondre Stevenson ran all over him. So I'm taking the Baltimore Ravens for sure to cover, especially if Rashad Bateman is back. Rashad Bateman just extends that offense, just creates room in the offense.
Did you see the Ravens did sign Deshaun Jackson today? That tells you something.
Mm-hmm.
Very true, actually. But yeah, I still leaning on the Ravens. We'll go. I have them just to cover. I think it's going to be close around that 7-point spread. We'll go 27-20.
AFC North games scare me. I don't like big points in those games, especially with the Ravens, who are just, they just can't find a way to hold on to a fucking lead. They'd be 6-0. If I was Chaz, must be fuming watching these games. Horrible.
Dude, they need Rashad Bateman back.
I don't know. It's Rashad Bateman. They give up 21 points in the fucking.
To be fair, about last week, they ran to the wrecking ball Giants that have not 1, not 2, but 3 wins, went trailing by 10+ points in the second half this year.
Yeah. Okay. Well, true, but also, that win wasn't even that wasn't that big of a blown lead. That happens in the NFL. Like that's not crazy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take the Browns to cover here. I feel like the Browns play the NFC North pretty well too. They just got embarrassed, but that is one of those things where I think the Browns come in, they run the ball, they play pretty good defense, and Lamar keeps turning the ball over in the second half until he shows me he's going to stop doing that. I'm not going to take that. So I'm going to take the Ravens to win this game. I do think they will get that done, but it's going to be close. The Browns definitely have a chance towards the end. Maybe a Justin Tucker field goal wins it. We'll go 23-20 Baltimore.
Yeah, I'm actually high on the Ravens here, and the issue with the Ravens that we've been bringing up all season long has been their secondary. But Marcus Peters getting healthy now, looking to get a little better. Obviously, very costly defensive holding at a bad time last week against Darius Slayton in the end zone. But that said, the Ravens secondary, I think, is getting better, and that's been the team's biggest problem for the past year and a half. And the Browns, who I thought would be much better defensively than what they are right now, just aren't. And Lamar Jackson, as questionable as he's been in the fourth quarter, blowing some games for this team, I don't think he's ready to blow another one. I think this Ravens team's ready to jump out big, something they kind of been doing all year before blowing it. And I think they're going to start to learn how to hold on to it, especially against a Browns team that, similar to the Giants, their strength is running the football, and that's something that's tough to do against Baltimore. Daniel Jones played pretty decent. Jacoby Brissett has had a couple decent games this year, but it's just another game that the Ravens were able to gel together last week. I don't like the way the Browns match up against this team. I think the Ravens have learned a lot in their 3 losses. I'm going to hope they learn. They're well coached enough to probably learn, and I think they just jump out big, and Cleveland doesn't have the talent on offense with Brissett in the pocket to come back. So I'm going to take Baltimore to win and cover here. Get the job done pretty easily. Lamar has one of those games where we'll be talking about Lamar winning MVP and pay the fucking man type of deal at the end all over Twitter. Give me Baltimore in this one. I'll go 31-14 with ease.
Wow. Big one.
31-14.
Crush them.
Yeah, well, they've been crushing teams, but then they give it up. So it does,
It'll be 31-14 in the third quarter, and then it'll end up like 32-31. Something.
That part is exactly where they are like every week. But yeah, it's
crazy, man. Crazy.
Makes no sense. All right. Falcons Bengals here. Bengals 6.5-point favorites at home. Over under 47.5. And Falcon team they still covered every single week. I think they're the lone team that's 6-0 against the spread right now. Just keep finding a way. I can't figure out this team. I think their offense is better than advertised coming into the season at first, and then they kind of look and then their defense has been a big question mark, kind of steps up, does enough to win a game and everything. So I really can't get a read on this Falcons team, but 6.5 seems like a lot. I can't do it. At some point, this team's not going to cover. Falcons are 6-0 against the spread. They're keeping it tight. They'll probably be a good team to bet all year. Maybe they keep that trade up, but I just don't think they're that good. There's nothing about this Falcons team that really stands out to me to say they're that good. And while the Bengals have kind of been a team all year, I've been saying they're going to figure it out and kind of haven't yet. They did put up big points and did come back when they need to most last week. Hoping they ride that momentum into home this week. Jack, here's a little teaser for tomorrow and especially daily fantasy. I will be bringing up T. Higgins. I think he's a guy I love this week and a lot of these Bengals offensive receivers. So give me the Bengals to win and cover. I don't love it though, and I do think it goes over the 47.5. I'll go Bengals 28-21.
I'll ride right up into this. I like the over too, so I'll be attacking this game in DFS. And I do like the Falcons 6-0. Like it's just I don't understand what they're doing. All they do is run the ball. They throw. I think they threw 15 times last week or something like that.
The issue is they don't run it well.
I don't understand how it's working. What's going on? But yeah, I'll stick with the Falcons because I just don't like the Bengals. I don't really like Joe Burrow. He's a little too cocky for me, and I just don't like him. He's a little, whatever. But they have been throwing it a lot more. So I'm going to go with the over. And we'll go 28-25. And the Bengals are going to win, but Falcons will cover.
I am with you with the Falcons cover there, Jack. Gang, I can tell you that I think the only thing the Falcons really have that's great is I think their coach is legit, man. The guy just schemes it up. I mean, when you win a lot of games with not a good roster, that's usually because of good coaching. And I mean, Mariota was balling out last week. They really didn't have business blowing the team out like that, but they did. And I think that Arthur Smith's a good coach. I think they see that they're 3-3 tied atop the NFC South. And they see that within striking distance. They're not going to win this one, but they play well. I love the over. I think everyone's going to love the over. So the under might fucking hit because Vegas is going to make a lot of money. But I just think the Falcons keep it close. They're believing they can play with anybody. Bengals will win, but the Falcons play a good game, and it's a close one down to the end of the fourth quarter. I'm going to go Bengals. I'm going to go 27-24.
I mean, yeah, I guess you're right. That it has to be coaching. I don't know. Time I look at the Falcons, like
who's their roster?
They're not doing anything well, but they're in games and they found a way to what? They're 3-3. Found a way to even win. It's wild. All right, Adam. I'm gonna give you our NFC North rivals. I'm gonna give you first digs at this one. So Packers clearly struggling here, but yet 5.5-point favorites on the road in Washington, looking like a 100-geek day in Washington. Carson Wentz, finger injury, wrist, whatever the hell it was, out 2 to 4 weeks, I believe they said. Over under 41.5. Pack bounce back here, Adam.
I love the Pack and I love the over. It just feels like whenever this happens, like Rodgers does something like this, he'll bounce back. And obviously the Packers are not what they have been the past few years. I mean, it's clear they just don't have the offensive firepower. Do that. Guys aren't getting separation, you see without Devontae. But Rodgers is Rodgers. Washington's defense, I think, is not good. And yes, they held the Bears 7 points, but that's really saying absolutely nothing. So, I mean, that's not what concerns me. This is a bounce back game for the Packers. I think Rodgers puts up 30. And I think Heineke will put up points too. That's why I love the over here. But it's just one of those things where Rodgers just makes way more plays than Heineke. And I think that they win and cover here. I'm going to go 28-20 Green Bay.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm high on Green Bay in this one as well. And, we tried it last week. Jack, I don't know if you listen, you're going to love it. I was big on the Packers in a big bounce back game. They go put up some points, but I think maybe I was a week too soon on that. I think it's going to come this week. Adam, like you said, obviously the Bears only scored 7 points. I'm not going to look too deep into that. We kind of had a feeling that game could go that way, and it did, but Packers, Aaron Rodgers, he's still playing pretty decent. I mean, these receivers are not really helping him too much, and Rodgers is still finding a way to throw at least 2 touchdowns a game. And with Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon back there, this offense, I think, could still open up. And this is a week to get it going. And once again, everybody's down on the Packers. I think their defense that is supposed to be better is a part of this team that actually needs to step it up, although it's hard to blame their defense, even for the amount of points the Jets scored when A.J. Dillon's putting the ball on the ground. Jets are blocking field goals. Jets are blocking punts, and the Jets are getting short fields. I mean, Breece Hall.
All great defense right there.
Breece Hall did have a massive game on the ground. I will give him that, but the Commanders don't have that type of rushing attack that the Jets have had the past couple of weeks. So, I think they're going to be there to throw the ball against Green Bay. I think that's going to be little bit problem for Washington, and once Green Bay goes up big, Aaron Rodgers finally gets a 3 touchdown game here, gets the job done. Adam, I'm with you. I don't know if the Packers are going to score 30, but I have them in the high 20s, and I do think because of that, the game will go over the 41.5. I'll take the Packers here. I'll go 28-16.
Yeah, this one's tough for me. Aaron Rodgers is another quarterback I don't like. I remember, I think it was 2 years ago, we were trying to bet on how Aaron Rodgers was going to do, and of course, he won MVP. But
yeah, that was the MVP year.
Yeah, he won MVP, but he still only finished like
48 touchdowns.
He still only finished. He still only finished like top 5 for fantasy. He was like the 5th best quarterback that year, so that just shows you how fantasy. Yeah, well, okay, whatever. But I can't root against him here. There's this stat where Aaron Rodgers hasn't lost twice in a row in like 9 games or something like that, or 9 opportunities for this to happen with Matt LaFleur. So I doubt he does it 3 times. So they're definitely not losing. I think it's going to be a little closer than we suspect, but I still have the Packers to cover. But I'm going with the under here. I just don't like the Packers offense or Washington's offense, especially with Heineke. We're going to go with like a 20 to 14. Packers win. Oh, we'll go 21-14. Packers win 21-14 by a touchdown. Even though I hate Aaron Rodgers, but
21-14.
It's all right, Jack. Everyone has a few people they hate. You're allowed to. I hate Cliff Kingsbury. I don't know why.
Yeah.
he might get fired soon. So we'll see.
Oh, he's next, I think.
I don't hate Kingsbury. I usually hate Kirk Cousins, but I've gone to groan back and forth on Kirk Cousins. It's a very love-hate relationship I have.
Yeah, it's love-hate. It's love-hate.
I love Kirk Cousins.
There's some love. There's some love there, Gank.
He's one of my favorite quarterbacks.
Yeah, there's certain people. I'll tell you what, though. I texted Adam this Sunday. I was ready to kill Cliff Kingsbury. Like, dude, just kick a field goal, make it a 1-score game. What are we doing here with all this?
What are we doing?
He's
You
an
need
idiot, man.
points, dude. Get the fucking points when they're in front of your face. Guy needs 2 scores to win a game, and he's not even taking one. Like,
Insane.
and as much as Adams hated Cliff Kingsbury, I've actually kind of been a Cliff Kingsbury backer until this past Sunday when started to see like Cliff may not be the guy. We're gonna learn a lot Thursday night what he can do at home against that struggling Saints team. And
He's got to win that game. Got to win that game.
Yeah. All right. NFC South here, Tampa Bay. Shocking loss of Pittsburgh. 10.5-point favorites again, this time on the road to Carolina. Over under 40.5. Short and sweet here, boys. I know Tampa Bay, tough loss to Pittsburgh. I mean, Brady seeming to do that thing he's done a few times in his career where he's been, 3-3 like he is now. Maybe 4-3 or 5-4 before he really starts to turn things on once the calendar flips November and gets going. And this Bucs team has been banged up by injuries. They're slowly getting healthy. They're going to be more than fucking fine. And the Panthers, well, I call the Cardinals a dumpster fire. That's a fucking, they got to be in sell house full rebuild mode now. Like, there's nothing to play for in that game if you're Carolina. I don't know. Nothing for pride. If you're on that team, you don't even know if you're safe right now the way the trade rumors are going. So, like, what the fuck are you going to go out there and do? Bucks with fucking ease. I'm not even sure Carolina can score double digits this game. Give me Tampa Bay 27-7.
Yeah, I like Tampa to cover here. I don't think it's because of their offense, though. Brady, Gank, you're 100% right. I'm pretty sure they were 5-5 their Super Bowl year, his first year, and then they didn't lose another game. So, I mean, that's just Brady and Belichick. When Brady was at Belichick, they had those beginning woes too. But I didn't like what I saw him screaming at his offensive line, this and that bullshit. Like, bro, you're not playing well enough. Don't be chirping them. I mean, you're the quarterback. So I think that their offense still struggles. I don't think they're there yet. I think defensively, they just are going to lock down the Panthers. I agree. They're not going to score double digits. I think the Panthers score 9 points here. Offensively, the Bucs will score enough to win. They'll play okay. Brady will do not bad, but they won't blow them out offensively. So I'm going to go 21-9 Tampa Bay.
Wow. So we're all agreeing here on this one too. I got the under heavily. These teams, I don't even like the Bucs. I think the Bucs have been playing awful too. And I hate that shit that Tom Brady was doing with his line. He's just not playing well. He's not the old Tom Brady. I guess the divorce is going through his head or something. I don't know. He's regretting his decision not to retire. I think he should have retired.
I mean, if I'm losing Giselle, that's tough.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, like, dude, it's like, come on, man. You've done everything. Go be a dad.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, fuck my family. So,
Yeah.
and now he's fucking up in football. So he'll cover. They'll cover just because Carolina's doing that bad. The only person that has something to play for is Christian McCaffrey for a trade and potential contract. And then maybe the quarterback. Who's even the quarterback? PJ Walker.
Yeah.
So he's got something to prove. So
Sam Darnold come back?
that's what I was going to say. Is Sam Darnold coming back?
I think he
this
might
week
be.
He's
He's
Well, if Sam
eligible to come
Darnold's
off the
coming back,
IR.
I might have to switch my thing because we all know
There you go, Jack.
I love Sam Darnold.
Yeah, Jet great.
he's done a lot for your Jets.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, no, I'll stick with the Tampa Bay and the under. So I'm gonna go even lower scoring. I'm going 17 to well, actually, the Tampa Bay wouldn't cover then. This is tough doing it off the cuff. We'll go 21 to 10.
There you go.
It's tough on the fly, but sometimes you talk yourself into the score. It's how it goes.
Yeah. I
Yep,
see it.
yep.
I'll say this. We're all on the under. If this game goes over, Tampa Bay, outside chance, you people want to bold bet, Tampa Bay could possibly score 40 points themselves this game.
It'll be because of Tampa goes over, not Carolina.
Yes, that's what I mean. Tampa themselves could score 40 points possibly. That would not shock me. If you want to take an outside bet on a team total, look for it. All right, Texans, Raiders, 7-point favorites at home. Over under 45.5. And didn't really get a chance to talk about the Raiders last week. They were on a bye, as were the Texans, even though I don't really have much to say about the Texans. But Raiders are a team that, looking at their record, have been a disappointment, and I just don't think they're as bad as their record. They keep finding these ways to lose. They really should have went into Arrowhead and beat Kansas City. You know, Devontae Adams was 3 inches away from having control of the ball and 2 feet down at the same time, and Hunter Renfrow not also taking out Devontae Adams. Devontae is looking at his third 50-plus yard touchdown that game and really putting Kansas City on their heels. And the Raiders are doing a lot of good things, except winning. And it's unfortunate, but hey, the NFL's wide the fuck open this year. How many 3-3, 2-4 teams do we fucking have? So the Raiders are far from out of it. There is a lot of football left. They got more than enough time to save their season. And it starts at home right here against Houston. I look for them to come out firing, getting the job done. Josh Jacobs is running the ball very well. Derek Carr, as a fantasy owner, I expected a little more, but go look at his games. He's still pretty much 250, 2 touchdown floor every game. You mix that with Jacobs running. They're doing a lot of good things. They're going to figure it out against Houston here. $17.
Oh, my bad. Lost you for a sec there, Gank. No, I think the Raiders are going to win. I think they're going to win by double digits here. I'm big on them. I feel like the bye week is going to treat them very well. I think it's about that time they find a way to put one away and really get one going. I've just not been on the Texans all year, and I don't think they cover this one. Yes, they're coming off a bye, but I just don't think they're a very good football team. I could see some points here. I could see the over hitting, but I'm going to go Vegas 31-20.
Yeah, I'm riding Vegas too. Houston has not been doing well. The only team they beat was the Jaguars, and they've been keeping it close though. This is tough. I don't know. I love Josh Jacobs. Oh man.
It's really a push. That's how they get you.
I don't like it. Well, actually, the fact that I don't like it that much, I'm actually gonna have Houston to lose but cover. That's what I'm going with here. It's so tough, but yeah, I'm gonna go 21-17. Houston wins. Or no, Houston comes up short against Vegas, but Vegas covers. Not Vegas covers. I'm fucking all it up. Houston covers.
You're fine because Jack is a huge under guy, and that's hitting at 60% this year. He should have just hammered every single under in every game.
Wow.
I really should have. When you bring it up that way.
Damn, yeah.
Just throw that out there. How the Yanks do?
3 outs away, baby. Top 9 about to start.
Nice.
Perfect. Heard enough.
5-1. Oh,
So-
Naylor's coming up too. Fuck yeah, they better put him away.
I hope they hit him in the fucking head.
Jesus.
All right, Jack, this is where you get to go first because now it's
Wow,
your
Jack's team's here.
now it's your
Let's go.
Jets. Like my Giants, New York football back, baby. Give a quick clap.
All right, gang. So I'm definitely in on the Jets. I want you to check your phone right now and check your Venmo.
I saw that.
What is this? What did I miss?
It's a Venmo request from last week because the Jets beat the Packers. So that's how much in I am on the Jets. I kind of want that money, bud. But I think they're gonna do it again.
2 things on that.
All right.
One, I was gonna send it to you.
No, I know. I wanted to do it for the pod.
2, instead of requesting, you also just sent me $10, so thanks, bud.
You fucking idiot, bro.
Son of a bitch.
You're
Oh,
such an idiot,
God.
dude. That's all time.
All right. Well, I'll request it on the next pod tomorrow.
I'll,
That's
I'll
all
send you
time.
the 10 and I'll send you the 10. I'll send you 20 tomorrow. I'll put it.
Sounds good. Oh God. All right. Well, either way, let's fucking go Jets. So I have them beating the Broncos because the Broncos are awful, god awful,
Awful.
and we have to suffer through every primetime night watching the Broncos play. But I'm going with the under here because the one thing about the Broncos is their defense is legit, and I think the Jets defense has been pretty legit, holding the Packers down with all those fumbles and special plays. Final score here, we're gonna go pretty low. We're going 17-10. Like, I think it's gonna be very low, a bad game to watch. I don't even know if I want to watch it, but Jets will come up on top.
Dude, I'm buying the Jets, man. I'm in on it. I feel like when you give a team like that, they're just playing great defense, and you get a huge win in Green Bay like that, man, that's good stuff. And it gives them a lot of confidence to keep it rolling. And Robert Saleh, for give him credit where credit is due, he has made a pretty big turnaround. Packers aren't the Packers that they've been, but that's a huge win in Green Bay. And I don't know who the Broncos backup quarterback is. Gank, do you know who it is?
Couldn't tell you actually.
Is he projected to play?
Well,
I bet
apparently,
Russ is gonna be fine. It sounds
Right,
like
that's
Russ
fine.
hurt that and came back in still, but
yeah, but they said I saw a tweet. It might be a significant injury. And I think it was Schefter, but either way. That being said, I don't really care who's playing quarterback for the Broncos. I have never seen this type of offense in my life. I mean, they have dudes. Their offensive line is graded okay, all things considered, from what I saw last year. And Russell Wilson just misses wide open guys. I mean, it's incredible. I don't know what's going on in Denver, but until they show me something, I am not going to give them anything. And I love the way the Jets are playing. I agree with you, Jack. I like the under because the Broncos defense is for real. If they had an offense, they could be 5-1. That being said, I like the under too. I think the Jets maybe get a defensive touchdown to be the difference in the game. And I'm going to go 20-13 Jets.
yeah, I mean, I'm saying the Giants got to where they were because they run the football well and they play good defense. And look what the Jets did, these past couple of weeks and getting to where they are. So something I have to respect. It is a winning formula. No, I was kind of all in on the Jets not being that good last year, but starting to turn around last year. Obviously, I was definitely a year short of that because I don't even think they showed hope in that turnaround last year. With that said, I've been picking kind of against the Jets a lot this year. I've been saying the whole time, I think the Jets are fine. I think they'll be more than fine. I just thought they were still a year or two away, and I was a year early on when we would start to see the turnaround. And this game is hard for me to pick because I just don't know how well the Jets could run the ball. I don't know if Zach Wilson's ready to beat this defense, but we've unfortunately all been forced to watch the Broncos offense more than we would have liked to with these 4 primetime games they have played so far this year. But that's also a huge question mark too. So I think this game is the biggest coin flip 50-50 game of the week. Jack, I'm sorry. I'm not betting it this week because I can't, but it's not easy going into Mile High. I do think Russell Wilson, as bad as he is, he's proven over the course of time he's a rather tough guy. He's going to find a way.
1 out away, Gank. Sorry. 1 out away.
I would say it looks like the Yankees just won, but 1 out away. We'll
1
take
out away.
It does look like, if I had to guess, Russell Wilson continues to be tough, finds a way to play through this. And I think Denver is they get the job done at home. Like I said, I'm not willing to bet that again this week, Jack, because I think this is the biggest 50-50 coin flip game of the week. But I'm with you guys on the under too. Give me the Broncos in this one. I'll go 17-16.
The problem with their home game, it's like an away game. They're booing the entire time. Like every other play, they're booing. I think I'd rather be away if I was the Broncos.
I mean, dude, the like let Russ cook memes are just
Oh,
too
it's
much.
so great.
It's so good.
It's
It's like a hot dog and it's like a hot dog and like an egg. Like let Russ cook.
oh
it's
man.
bad. I hope he's healthy. I can't afford him to go down. And I'm not even as a fantasy owner, as a fucking Judy owner. Like,
Oh,
maybe-
dude. Yeah, no, yeah.
He had 13 passing, right? Did I read that right? 13 passing yards in the second half and overtime last week or yesterday.
I don't know if it was that low, but it was bad.
No, it was.
It was
He
either
threw-
13 or 18.
out of the first quarter, he's 10 for 10 from 116.
That I saw. Then I fell asleep.
He finished with less than 200 in the air.
It was bad.
And even the touchdown they scored was a busted coverage. It wasn't this big scheme. Fucking JC Jackson thought they were man coverage and it was a zone.
What about how JC Jackson's paid $82.5 million? I know coming off injury, they're trying to ease him in, and maybe he's not ready, but he's just constantly getting benched because he can't do anything.
Fucking Belichick. Belichick lets these guys walk and they're terrible.
Oh my god! I'm trying to figure out who the backup is.
I don't
We
even
got-
know.
Oh, Hawks Chargers, huh?
I'm very curious on that, but yeah, let's get into that. The Hawks Chargers, sticking with the other Monday night team here at the Chargers. Chargers 6.5 points at favorites at home here. Over under 51.5. And the Seahawks are one of these teams that's probably going to prove me wrong, similar to the Falcons, who have been impressing me. Love what Geno Smith's doing, obviously, but still a team I can't buy into, and I still think the Chargers are very good. People's questioning the Chargers offense. I mean, Herbert has clearly been rattled from that rib injury he suffered week 2, and the Broncos defense is no joke. With that said, that rib injury is
Let's go, Gank. ALCS, baby.
Let's get the Astros one time in our lives, huh?
Oh, God.
Adam, are you a Yankee fan now? What happened to the Reds? Are they just that bad that you don't root for them anymore?
We're a Yankee fan now. I'm allowed to because I moved closer.
Okay, there you go.
It's fair game.
Yeah.
The Reds suck, but yeah, the Chargers, like I said, their offense with Hurt, it's been a struggle, but I think his rib injury is starting to really turn into the past. I think he's pretty close to probably being back to himself, close to 100%. And a Seahawks defense that did just look pretty good, very good against Arizona, is not nearly as good as what they looked last week. I think you get the Chargers at a steal of a number here. You look at this line coming into the season, the Chargers are probably almost 2 touchdown favorites if they set this line preseason and you look at it. And as well, the Seahawks have been playing as banged up as the Chargers got. Justin Herbert's still back there. Hopefully Keenan Allen's back. Hopefully they'll start to slowly get some key pieces back and get a job done, because I'm not buying anything to the Seahawks defense after last week. I still think they're the worst in football. And I think the Chargers just go out and absolutely demolish them. Maybe Geno Smith does score some points. I do love the over, but similar to what I said about Tampa, the Chargers scoring 40 ain't out of the question here. I'll go Chargers 38-21.
This game's tough for me. I would not bet this line because what would concern me is the Chargers win by double digits and the Seahawks come into cover, because the Chargers just find a way to keep these games close. And I know that Brandon Staley has been a little bit questionable in some of his decisions, and that's why I think the Seahawks cover this. I would prefer not to bet this, Gank, so don't even think about it. But that being said, something tells me, it's just a weird gut instinct, that everyone's on the Chargers to cover this. It's an easy way to make some money for Vegas, and I think the Seahawks find a way to cover this. I think the Chargers win, but they keep games close like they always do. And it's just, the Seahawks playing pretty well. Geno, for what it's worth, has played very, very well at quarterback. So I agree. I don't believe in the Seahawks defense like some people are giving them credit. So I'm going to go 27-24 Chargers.
Yeah, I'm with you right there. I don't know what I want to touch in this game. The only thing I really want to do is touch it with DFS. I want to attack this game in DFS and do some stacks either with Herbert and those weapons or even Geno and those weapons. Geno's been doing very well. So I'm definitely going with the over here, and I think it's going to be close. So I still like LA because Herbert, if he improves with his injury, if he gets a little more healthy, and if Keenan Allen comes back, I believe he's coming back this week, then they're going to do very well. So I have the Chargers winning. We'll go 30-27.
That's some points.
That is some points. The Seahawks ain't in it. I don't hate it. Honestly, because me picking the Seahawks against the Seahawks backfired a lot on me this year. But at some point, I think the Chargers are still going to look like the Super Bowl contender they are. And maybe this is it. By the way, backup quarterback for the Denver Broncos, if I just read that right, is Brett Rippon.
Cool. I hope he plays. He might do better than Russell, though. So I don't know, actually.
How much worse can you do? I love Russ, but like truly, how much worse can you play? Like this guy is just not.
He hasn't been the same since that injury last year.
Yeah, dude, I don't know what's going on.
No, he hasn't, but
it's mental. It's not
figure it
physical.
out, he's got
It's mental. It's not.
Gotta be
he's
at
fine.
this point.
Yeah, bro.
I just don't understand too how like he comes out last night, first quarter, 10 for 10, 116 yards. Yes, a breakdown, but still found a touchdown. Like, okay, this is a game. Russ is going to figure it out. We expect the Chargers to score some points. Maybe Russ could keep answering and get a stride for this offense. And then that was it. That was the only good drive of the whole football.
Yeah, that first Gank, we're losing you again, I think. But that first quarter of that game,
You're back, Hank. You're back.
Okay. But that first quarter of the game for my fantasy matchup, I was shitting my pants. Russell Wilson throwing a touchdown, Eckler getting a touchdown and like 15 catches. So that was very scary, but I'm glad Russ was cooking up some hot dogs and eggs at the end of that game.
That's it. All right. In my opinion, game of the day here, thank God, is the 425 one. Kansas City heading to San Francisco. Niners 3-point dogs. Over under 48.5. And well, the Niners are the latest victim of the Falcons team. I can't figure it out. Actually losing by 14 of them at home. Chiefs coming off that loss to Buffalo. And the Chiefs all year, the Chiefs are the Chiefs. They're a good team. I'm not here to tell you they're a bad team, but I still don't think they're the Chiefs we've seen in the years past. I still think there's problems on this team. I said it when we were talking about Vegas before that. Devontae Adams was a step away from the Raiders beating that Chiefs team. I still don't think the Chiefs were the better team than the Chargers when they played each other Thursday night. One miscommunication between Justin Herbert and Gerald Everett led to a Chiefs pick six. Those are two games right there. I really thought the Chiefs could have lost, and all of a sudden, this 4-2 Chiefs team. We're talking about a 2-4 Chiefs team, and the Niners off that loss to the Falcons not looking too great. But I think the Niners bounce back here. I actually like the Niners to win this game outright. I think Jeff Wilson could have a field day on the ground. Chiefs secondary is obviously a huge question mark. I think even Jimmy Garoppolo could get some yards in the air, and Pat Mahomes against a pass rush and a good defense. It's kind of similar to the Tom Brady history. That's one way you can really beat Pat Mahomes. The Niners are going to bring it to him, especially at home here. I like the Niners to win this game outright. I'm not going to look too much into that Falcon game last week. Maybe the Niners overlooked it. Trap game, I don't even realize this, and this is the game they had in front of them when I made that pick. But I still think Niners are a slightly better team outside the Eagles. I still think they're the next best team in the NFC, the way that team's built, the way they play defense. And I like them to get the job done at home here. I like the game to go under the 48.5, and I like the Niners to win outright. I think Chiefs lose the same score they just lost to the Bills to, 24-20.
Yeah, Gank, it's funny. I feel like you've been so big on the Chiefs these past few years, and this is kind of that year you started to fade them a little bit. I actually disagree. Well, okay. I think the Chiefs find a way to win this game. I think Bucker maybe gives a field goal to win it at the end. But I do think the Niners will cover here. It's just a good matchup for the Niners. It's like you see the Chiefs play these type of teams. It's why they almost beat them in the Super Bowl. Teams that play good defense, have a good front seven, and can run the ball, have success against the Chiefs. I do agree with the under. I just feel like Kansas City knows they got to get this one. It's a big game for them. And I look at Patrick Mahomes versus Jimmy G, and it's just one of those things where I think the Chiefs find a way to win. I think it will be close, but I'm going to go 23-21 Kansas City.
See, this is the same game as the last game we just covered. I don't want to touch anything except the over. I think there's going to be a lot of points scored here. But I still have. What's that?
You're an over guy.
Well, I'm an over guy now. Tell me I'm an under
guys all day with you.
It depends on the offense, man. I love the Chiefs offense, and I love the 49ers offense. I think all you got to do with those weapons as Jimmy G is throw to Kittle. You got Debo, you got Brandon Ayuk, or just hand the ball off to
Niners offense just scored 14 points against the Falcons, so I'm picking them to beat the Chiefs this week.
I think they're gonna do well. I really have it close. Honestly, I don't know if this is bold. I'm gonna project a push. Is that a thing? Do you guys do that? I'm gonna do it.
We don't like
Jack,
it.
Here's the thing. We've done it. Me, Chaz, and Adam have all done it.
Okay.
But we let people know it's frowned upon to do it.
Well, I'm gonna do one. I probably want to be back on the pod for a while, unless Chaz is that embarrassed of being that bad in fantasy. Sorry, Chaz. 1 and 5.
Hey, this is gambling one, not the fantasy one.
Okay. No. Gambling Chazzy. Yeah, gambling Chazzy. Yeah.
Gambling Chaz has the best record between the three of us this year.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, so my final scores, I'm going to have the Chiefs win 27-24.
High scoring.
Yeah, I have the over for sure. Betting on the offenses.
Jimmy G's just, I don't know. Maybe.
We will see.
I used to hate Jimmy G. I don't hate him as much.
No, I don't hate him, but he doesn't.
He's out of the league. Let me call a scumbag for saying this, but I was the biggest Alex Smith hater on this planet. Everybody knew this.
Yeah, you were.
And the 49ers got the same thing in Jimmy G. But
yeah. I mean, Jimmy G wins more, I think, but Alex Smith won too.
I wouldn't say that about Alex Smith, but go look at Alex Smith's seasons. He was just 11-5.
But Jimmy G's has never been bad losing wise. Alex Smith wasn't great in his beginning. Jimmy G's record's 38-17 or something crazy like that.
Yeah.
Well, it's easy when you have 100. He literally has $100,000 on every single game. So I'd be trying to play to win too. Right. Every game he wins, he gets an extra $100,000.
Yeah, his contract's all incentive this year.
Yeah, it's good for him.
That's something, actually. I'd start him based off that.
Yeah, right. I'd be playing really hard. $100,000.
Well, I think everybody in this podcast, not named Jack Flynn, kind of knew Jimmy G probably should be the guy over Trey Lance this year.
Let's get into that.
Yeah.
I mean,
all right, that's fair. We don't have to get into that, but
trying to take you to the conference championship, but yeah, tough break.
I mean, right. Okay, never mind. That's more of a fantasy.
You weren't gonna win as many games. It's fantasy. Yeah, it's fantasy.
It's a fantasy play. It's a fantasy play.
Fantasy argument. Yeah, that's fair.
All right. Well, boys, don't love the Thursday night game. We got two other, what I think, close to hideous night games this week. I'm looking ahead to next week. Night games next week are great, so they should pick up for this. Give you the one right off the bat. Baltimore's in Tampa Bay Thursday night next week, so we got that to start. But
nice.
With that said, somehow, some fucking way, I thought the NFL really adjusted their flex scheduling where come this time of the year, they were allowed to kind of change games and get things in. But no, we are watching the Steelers and Dolphins on Sunday Night Football this week as their game of the week. Dolphins 7-point favorites at home, over under 44.5. Steelers huge win against Tampa Bay last week. Dolphins sound like they'll get Tua back. I'm gonna make this pick based off the fact that Tua is back, and somebody who most this season is kind of trying to back the Steelers defense and hate the Dolphins and everything. Coming to learn the Dolphins actually are not a bad team, especially with Tua, as much as I trash at this year. And if he's back, the Steelers defense without J.J. Watt, big win last week, has been beyond questionable. And I think Miami could do more than enough to snap their 3-game losing streak and get the job done at home here. So this pick is assuming Tua is playing. If he's not, take the Steelers +7. If Tua is playing, I can't believe I'm saying this as much as I bashed Tua this year, but the Dolphins really have been that much better with him. They fucking have no problem taking care of the Steelers at home here. So I'll take the Dolphins to win this one. I'll go 24-13.
I think Tua is cleared to play and will play last time I saw something, Gank. I mean, who knows? I could change obviously with concussion stuff, but I'm going to take the Steelers to cover. I don't think they're going to win in Miami. The thing about the Steelers for me is I don't like betting these fucking guys because it's like as soon as you think they're done, they bounce back and this and that. And I just feel like Mike Tomlin, the guy doesn't have losing seasons, so he kind of makes adjustments and finds a way to win. I guess Mitch might play because Kenny Pickett went out with a concussion, but I'm not sure who's playing there. It doesn't really either way. I think the Dolphins will win this game, but the Steelers keep it close. It's just kind of a gut feeling here. It's a little bit of a stay away game for me, but I'm going to go Dolphins win, Steelers cover 24-20.
I'm right here with Gank. It all depends on Tua. If Tua's playing, I'm leaning into the Dolphins. If Tua's not playing, I'm leaning into the Steelers to cover. That's basically the deciding factor here. The Steelers have been like sneaky good, and the Dolphins have been only good with Tua. So we'll see. So it's really depending on that, but I'm going to pretend like Tua is playing because I think that is the projection. And I'm going to I think with Tua playing, it's going to be the over because all he has to do is dump it off to Tyreek or Waddle, and their offense is just great through them. So I'm going to go with, we'll say 27 to, I want to say 17, but that would hit the under. I guess I'm going the under 27-17.
Jack got himself in a little predicament there.
Yeah,
The hook gets to sometimes. The hook gets
yeah, a 27.
At that point, you just gotta give it 28-17.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Because I do like I like it, gang. 28-17.
There you go.
Jack, there's been a couple times that Adam and Chaz never know about, where as I'm talking, I say I like the over and then go to throw the score out and realize it's under. So whichever way I could add the extra point to make sure.
Oh yeah, I do the exact same thing. Yeah, 100%.
That's how it goes.
It's tough when you're doing it off the cuff because you think, okay, the Dolphins are going to be good, and then you just realize, oh, the score I'm throwing out there is not what I'm projecting. It's interesting. I like it.
Yep.
It is. All right, Adam. Somehow, some way, your Bears are giving us a third primetime game in only week 7.
Well, when you're done, I'll tell you why. I'm pretty sure I know why.
Fair, but
Some secret going on with
that said,
No.
The big hook
Nothing
on the
else.
line here: 7.5-point dogs in Foxborough, over under 39.5. Adam, please tell me why, because to be honest, I'd rather watch Denver in prime time than the Bears.
Vegas is telling us this is going to be a bad game by the lines, and
They are.
They're like, oh, this game's going to be bad. Don't watch. Okay, Adam, let us know.
No, so Belichick, I think ESPN might have predicted the Patriots go 3-3, which is what they are, I believe. Belichick, if he wins Monday, will be second all time in wins. He will pass. He passes George Halas, who the Bears.
I think you're right about that, actually. I believe I remember hearing something how he's tied.
Yep. And that's why the guy gave him the fucking ball. That's why the special teamer gave him the ball after the blocked punt, because he's tying the second. Yeah. So, and the second all time is George Halas, who was the Bears like all time coach for like 35 years. So I guess that's the storyline, I assume, because coming into the year, this wouldn't have been a big game. So I don't understand. Like, it's not like these are two high octane offenses either way.
I tell you something, we're into this year. Not a big game.
Yeah, no, exactly. Confirmed. Surprisingly, no. I don't know. Did Belichick at home against a really young, inexperienced offensive team, offensive coordinator, quarterback, bad offensive line. I think this might be a blowout. As in Patriots score a touchdown or two defensively and special teams. Like it's one of those games. I didn't watch much of the game because I was at a Post Malone concert on Thursday. But from what I saw,
19 whole points, bud.
Yes. So I'm happy I did that, and it's frustrating as a Bears fan because there were multiple dropped passes in the end zone that if they had receivers, would have been done. But instead, we drafted 2 cornerbacks in the second round this year. So, I mean, say what you want about Justin Fields. I get it. But when you put a quarterback in that position with that team, they're just not going to be successful. So, Darnell Mooney should have made that catch. The play before, guy could have made a catch. So, I mean, it is what it is. My worst fear is coming. Their defense looks good. Their offense looks bad because they got an offensive or a defensive coach and didn't invest in the offense around your own quarterback. No surprise. Either way, I'm done. I'm sad. A Bears fan. They're going to be really bad this year. And they're going to get smoked. I'm going to go 23-10 New England.
So I want to bring some fantasy football into this. And Justin Fields has actually been doing pretty well the last 2 weeks. He's been top 12 in fantasy football the last 2 weeks. And as a NFL quarterback, he sucked. The last 2 weeks, he's been awful. He's not good. He threw 1 touchdown last week. He threw maybe 1 touchdown the week before, but he's still top 12. So that is why I was all in on Trey Lance, because the rushing floor is so massive in fantasy. But I know this is not a fantasy show, so
all comes back to Trey Lance with Jack. Always.
Yeah, yep. Let's go Trey Lance. Him and Kyle Pitts. You'll learn that out. But we're gonna bring it back to NFL, and the Bears suck. So the Patriots are gonna cover, and it's gonna be an under because the Patriots defense has been very, very well. Go Ramondre Stevenson. We're gonna go with a final score of 21-7 because the Bears can't do anything.
Yeah, I don't disagree here. Obviously, I'm gonna pick the Pats to win. I like the Bears to cover, and we look at this Bears team. Jack, here's a guy I hate on the podcast.
Justin Fields.
Before Justin Fields ever got drafted, the guy said he'll never make it in the NFL. Adam's not wrong when he says he hasn't had a fair opportunity in Chicago. I think that's clear as day that he hasn't had a fair opportunity in Chicago. I mean, if you watch the game Thursday night, Justin Fields snapped the ball and was getting sacked.
Immediately.
It was just
still top 12 for fantasy football, though. Just saying.
Yeah, because he fucking had that 40-yard scramble that fucking should have given the game-winning touchdown.
And to be honest, it wasn't until this past Thursday when I knew the Bears' offensive line was bad. Even watching it wasn't really until this past Thursday when I realized how bad they actually were. But with that said, I still like the Bears to cover this week, 7.5. I think that hook is kind of key. I think people are jumping all over New England because, they just shut out the Lions and beat the shit out of the Browns or something. But what the hell's that saying? Like, the Lions are 1-4 and the Browns are starting Jacoby Brissett, and the strength of the Browns team, the defense hasn't been fucking good either. Meanwhile, Bears found a way to stay in games. Like, they did beat the Niners. They did only lose by 5 this past week. They do have a couple wins under their belt. Justin Fields, when you look at him, has actually been a better second half quarterback than first half quarterback this year too. Like, he's kind of turned it up a little bit when it's mattered most. And Adam said it best, half a yard away or one decent receiver away from actually winning this game this past Thursday night. 7.5 seems high. The Patriots are not nearly as good as they looked these past 2 weeks, beating the Lions and fucking Jacoby Brissett. That's going to tell me nothing about them. I still don't think the Patriots are that good of a team. I think both these teams are actually pretty similar on paper. So, I mean, the Bears are going to get outcoached by Belichick. That's simple, but 7.5 is a lot of points for this game. So, give me the Patriots to win. The Bears cover. It definitely goes under. Nothing exciting here, but might be the most boring 17-14 Patriot game you ever see.
I'm going to be so miserable next Monday night.
What's that?
I'm going to be so miserable on Monday night because their offensive line, like, Belichick's just going to scheme up so much defensively. This is going to be brutal.
Belichick has been great coaching-wise this year. It's insane.
It just
with Zappy, they're winning with Zappy. Like, what is going on?
He's beat a 1-4 Lions team at Jacoby Brissett. Which
it's because it's bad teams, but still,
yeah, that's true.
It's wins.
Very,
wins
very
are wins.
Like, I mean, it's an NFL. It's a win, obviously, but it's still not fully buying. I think this line's heavily moved because of what the Patriots have done these past 2 weeks. Obviously, the Bears aren't good, but I don't think the Patriots are still much better. Just my thoughts. All right, Jack, before we get into locks, me and Adam every week place a bet on some game we disagree with. Whoever has a better record throughout the season, that person owes the other person $20. And me and Adam were sitting at 3-3 in that bet.
Oh, we are
Oh.
3-3. I thought I had you 4-2. Damn.
Wait, Adam's betting money? Is everything okay?
It's $20 for a season-long bet.
It's a big $20 bet, Jack. Don't
Okay,
get too
okay.
worried.
$20 bet. So if you want to say that, yes.
But all right, keep it going.
Adam,
Shit, where are we? Gang?
we
What did
disagree. Oh, I'll take my Colts against the Titans all day.
I might do that? Hold on. Let me just look through the rest. Did you take Browns or Ravens?
Take the Ravens.
Okay. Falcons or Bengals?
Took the Bengals.
Wow, another disagreement. Raiders or Texans?
Took the Raiders.
Yeah, you took. I took the Raiders too. All right. Well, I mean, I don't know. Which one you want? What are the two?
Colts, Titans. You had the Browns, right?
Yeah, I'll do.
You had the
I'll do.
Falcons?
I have the Falcons. Yeah.
So we're different on all three of those. I believe I chose last week. If you want to pick your poison this week,
Yeah.
because I'm fine with any of those three.
I am gonna take the Falcons with that.
All right.
Think you want to bet against the Jets again this week?
No.
But I like that. Only you and Gank do this. Chaz isn't a part of it.
Jazz isn't involved. It just started as a thing somehow, some way. But yeah.
Well, we just disagree so much
Yeah.
all the time that it's like I think it was probably Gank that was like, "Oh, fucking, let's bet 20 then." And I was like, "All right,
Like,
fine."
The first time Adam won the season long bet, I think I crushed him last year. And now we're 3-3 this year. So like it's
Yeah,
just-
yeah. Last year you crushed me. Yeah.
yeah. All right. With that said, we will get into locks here. Jack, take notes. You were different with us on a lot, so maybe you're not as slim picking as you go, but way a lot goes between me, Chaz, and Adam. Kind of change your order. It's a fixed order. Like this week, it's Chaz, me, Adam. We pick in that order. I'll be first next week. Adam will be first the following week. So we kind of stay in the same order, but everybody picks 3 in a row. Chaz is first this week. He gave us our 3 locks. There's a rule though. You can't pick the same game twice, but you can't go against it. Like I'll read you Chaz's 3 locks, and his first right now is Atlanta, Cincinnati over 47.5. So if you like a spread in that game, you want to take it, take it. You're not allowed to take the under though.
Right.
Okay.
Can't go against it because just in case that small shot, we go perfect. We need that door wide open. But so Chaz's 3 locks, Atlanta, Cincinnati over 47.5. He's got the Chargers minus 6.5, which is something I'm gonna have to cross out. I forgot he had that. I don't even know why I fucking wrote it down, knowing it was never getting to me. And he's got Arizona Thursday night minus 1.5. So that leaves me second. And I'm going to start with Chaz's Ravens and take the minus 6.5. Go get a job done, beat the shit out of a team, and don't fucking blow it in the fourth quarter for once. How about it? Adam, I think I'm the Jack one from you here. And if I do, I'm sorry, but I'm going Green Bay, Washington over 41.5 because I like Green Bay.
Damn it.
I like Green Bay to probably hit or at least push 30 points themselves. And the way their defense is playing, the door is open for Washington to get some points to seal the deal there. And last but not least, I'm going to roll the dice. Give me the Niners plus 3 against the Chiefs.
Well, good thing I wasn't going to lock that one, so that's good. But yes, Yankees took that one from me. All right. We are going to. I don't do this a lot, but I might. I think I'm going to take. All right, I'm going to take the Giants +3. It's. I know it's it's scary, and Vegas is baiting me, but I'm going to take it. And then if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. It is what it is. I'll live with that. And then I'm going to go Packers -5.5. Eventually Rodgers is going to have one of those games. I don't think the Commanders have a very good defense. They just playing the Bears. And so I think that Rodgers is going to have a big day. And finally, I am going to take the under in the Bucks and Panthers at 40.5.
Damn it.
It's a tough life, Jack, when people take your picks right in front of you. It is.
Well, it's tough when you guys only have to have 2 people go in front of you. I had 3, but that's all right.
Yeah, that's true.
We'll make do. So my number 1 lock is the under in the Saints and Cardinals game. Like I said before, the Cardinals only scored 3 points against Seattle, but their defense is pretty good, especially against number 1
What's
receiver.
that number at? 45.5?
45.5. So we're gonna go with that, and then I'm gonna ride my Jets, and I'm having them win straight up. Oh, I'll take the points. I'll take
You
the
get the
Don't take
points. Yeah,
money
you get the
lines
points.
here. If you got the points, you get the points.
And now I could go in the same game, right?
You can.
Yep.
So I was thinking the under for this one, but I think I'm gonna pivot to the awful Monday night game. Yeah, I'm
Take that
pivoting
under.
because I want to root for my Jets to score some points. So I'm gonna pivot to the Bears and Patriots, going the under 39.5.
Jack, 2 unders. I love it. I think Adam, by the way, Adam, you bet under 40.5 in Tampa Bay, Carolina. That may be, what were we in season 5? You joined season 2?
Yes.
That may be the first time ever you've taken an under in your life in the lock. That really may be the first time ever.
It might be, man. It might be.
I show up in the show. I took 2 unders as my locks right away.
They're hitting, man. So it's like,
Josh takes a couple here and there. I feel like I take unders more frequently than most.
Yeah.
And it's not that frequent, but I feel like if one's going to do it, it's usually me. Chaz has done it. Adam, I swear to God, I think that's the first time you've ever taken an under.
I don't do it a lot because I don't like to do it. So
Never fun rooting for an under, but
life's too short to bet the under.
But when it's hit at 60%, it's the easiest way to make money. You got to do it.
That's it.
Yeah.
all right, boys, I have a proposition. So when I go 3-0, I get to give you my picks next week for the pod. If I go 3-0.
Yeah, or they get the 9 first in front of you, and then let's see how hot
You got to go last again, but yeah.
I'll
if
go
you
last
okay.
again. That's gonna be
Okay.
tough not being on the pod and giving I'll give some extra ones on the back. That's
Jack,
what-
if you go 3-0, be ready, because I'll let you know when we're doing the pod. And then once we're getting to the picks, I'll send you a text and to call you in for it again.
Yeah.
for me to go 6-0. I like it. All right.
I'll give you that shot.
Sounds good.
I'll be fair. Like when we're in the Sunday night game or something, I'll be like, we're in the Sunday night game. I'm sending you the link. Be ready. You know it's coming up.
If the 3-0 happens.
I don't hate it.
I think you got some pretty good picks for being
I actually
tough.
did the same game last week, Jack. I went 1-1 with it. I had the Niners -5.5 and the under in that game. Got the under part, but
Well, no, I switched. I'm not doing the Jets under.
yeah, I know. But you're thinking about it, and
Yeah, we do work. It's not that crazy. We do that.
yeah. But usually nobody. I think me actually taking the Niners and the under in that game. We have the same games a lot, but it's usually somebody has the spread and somebody else has the total. Like
Yes.
I think me taking it for the first time last week was like the first in show history where I actually took one from the same game myself.
I don't like doing it. Yeah, I don't like doing it.
Have you guys gone perfect?
We got 9-0 before.
Really?
Gank would know more than
I
me.
think there's actually twice last year, especially towards the end of the season when we got hot, where we went 9-0.
Dude, you
I
guys,
definitely remember 8-1s.
you guys should throw some bets on these, like actual bets. I know Adam doesn't bet, but
So the issue is for 4 years straight, we have probably, so you got to figure there's 9 picks a week. 9 times 7, 63, 9 times 8, 72.
I like
So
watching
we're
Gank do math.
For 4 years straight through 72 games, it's probably like right around a 35, 37, 37, 35, 36, 36. Don't know. Which in gambling with the minus 110, losing more money than you kind of should.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then week like 9, maybe even week 10 hits, and we just usually go on these heaters. Like,
I mean,
Just
more,
let me know.
no more information. So
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And listen, for the record, I don't gamble, but I do have 500, I think over $500 in fantasy. So easy over there. I'm invested in fantasy.
fantasy requires more skill. You hate that argument about gambling. It's kind of more luck.
I think fantasy is more luck than gambling. But we can talk about that tomorrow.
There you go. Yeah. But that's on the fantasy pod.
All right, boys.
All right, boys.
Thank you, sir. That was fun.
Appreciate
one.
it.
Thanks
to
for
step
having
in.
me.
Like I
Thanks
said,
for
if you go 3-0, I'll bring you on next week.
There you go.
Excited.
I'll like I said, I'll be texting you once it's Sunday night game, being like the link there, get ready. But
Works for me. Well, when Chaz is too scared to show up again, I could be here too.
Yeah.
Right,
We'll have to tell him that.
Chaz loves showing up. Part of
He'll
it's
be here.
I'm actually not available the next 2 nights, really.
Yeah, it was kind of my fault too.
With
so.
hours tomorrow, and I think I'm filling in for softball on Thursday now. So
Yeah.
kind of.
Sounds good.
Trust
Well, if you ever need a sub, I'm here.
We got you.
We got you, bud.